She lived just a block from Anne Frank and saved dozens of people from the tyranny of the Nazi regime. Carla Pepperzik now lives in Spokane and has begun talking about what she did to save lives. KXLY4's John Hendrix sat down with her today, and John, she has quite the story to tell.
Aaron, she certainly does. It's a story that Pepperzik held on to closely for decades, saying it's tough to relive what happened to so many of her Jewish friends and family during the war. This afternoon, I sat down with her as she recalled those moments so many years ago and what she did as a teenage girl to help so many. It's part of history so horrific that those who survived it have trouble talking about it and never want to see it happen again.
You lived always with fear. You did not know what would happen the next hour.
What Hitler did to so many during World War II still fresh in the mind of Carla Pepperzik.
I was doing my final exams and the bombs were falling around.
There's a sense of freedom here today.
It's been 70 years since the war ended, and for many of those decades, Pepperzik remained silent in her role in saving so many lives.
They picked me up and asked me what I had in a little carry-on, what a suitcase I had, and they wouldn't be sitting here. Let's say it that way.
As the Nazis made their push through Holland, they began deporting Jews back to Germany, to concentration camps where millions would lose their lives. Pepperzik says her and her father were able to disguise the fact she and some of her family members were Jewish.
I was fortunate that I did not have to wear that star and that I could walk around and that I had the ability to help.
Being able to move around, she began helping others go into hiding. She recalls when her aunt and 5 cousins were picked up by the Nazis. Having a German nurse's uniform and a background in medical technology, she headed to the train station in Amsterdam.
I went to the train in my uniform and asked her if I could take the youngest child, which I did, and he was just over 2 years old.
Only able to take one child with her, she left, but not before being stopped by the Nazis.
Told them it was my little boy and he was ill and I had to get them to a hospital and they let me go.
Pepperzik has many more stories, putting so many into hiding. She forged identification documents and moved some 40 people around to save them from the Germans.
I was lucky that the people I helped all got through.
She says she shares her story decades later because there are so few survivors left.
But 70 years later, it's still important, I think, that you don't really want that to happen again.
During the war, Pepperzik lived just a block away from Anne Frank and remembers having classes with her older sister. Pepperzik will be honored on Tuesday in Olympia by the state Senate for what she did to help so many. Reporting in studio tonight, John Hendrix, KXLY 4 News.